G'day, Sparkmanly here, and welcome back to our Red Bull Motorsport Manager F1 2022 Manager Mod save. Alright, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we've got the Suzuka GP, but just before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to DQ, Misty, Harry FC, C. Cero. I feel like I pronounce that differently every time, but I apologize if I pronounce it incorrectly. Hello is me, Altazar, Michael, Downrodinio, Luda, and Delamain. Again, I'm really bad with names. I apologize if I pronounce anyone's names incorrectly, but thank you so much for commenting on the last few videos. It's honestly awesome to have you guys interacting with the series. If you're enjoying the series, make sure to leave a like, consider subscribing, and leave any more thoughts, feedback, suggestions down below. You get featured in the video and I reply to each and every comment on this series, so feel free to do that. But let's get into it. Alright, so preparation for Suzuka, only 3 days to prepare, so we're going to go ahead and build a new front wing because we're second on the front wing now. We want to get that suspension up to potential that we just finished, but with only 3 days it's going to be tough, so we're just working the reliability nice and early, get it up there. Now we did have a comment from DQ on that, I think it was one of the latest videos regarding the HQ, and honestly I haven't given a thought to the HQ because I just assumed Red Bull have the best one, but we're actually lacking quite heavily on the engine. So the test track, we don't even have one, so I've built a test track just in case we go ahead with season 2 with Red Bull. We have all the money in the world anyway, so thanks heaps for the comment. Make sure to leave anything else you want to see in the comment section below, any mechanics or anything for any driver. I'll be sure to check them out. But yeah, not much really to prep for with only 3 days, but we do our best. On to qualifying at Suzuka. Now this is an amazing looking track, isn't it just? I love the train in the background and the purple trees. But on to the qualifying. It's been a weird weekend so far. Verstappen and Perez have been fighting it out for the top 2 spots. Verstappen's actually on top in Q2, I believe, and Q1, but we're gonna try and get the 3 runs here. It won't work. We're gonna send them out for the first 2 and they're just not gonna make it to the line in time for the 3rd, but Perez will take pole. Verstappen's all the way down in 5th, which is a bit strange, but there is like 3 tenths from 1st to 5th, so it's an insanely tight Q3. But it sucks a bit that Verstappen's in 5th, but hey, if the cars are that equal, hopefully our Q2 soft tire strategy advantage will work well in the race, and we got light footed as well. But onto the race. Race day here, let's do it. Let's hope for a good result. Verstappen's got a bit of work to do from 5th, but that's fine. Hopefully we can get a good start and jump Hamilton early, and hopefully Perez can stay in front of Hamilton, because that is all very important in this tight title race. At least with Verstappen starting that far back, you can't possibly finish first and steal it from Perez. Obviously, last time out at Singapore, we saw a bit of a controversial team orders that didn't work anyway. Yeah, I still have to answer questions on it. But here we go. 5 red lights are on, and they are out. And Perez gets the worst possible start he could have got. Absolutely trash. Hamilton goes into the start of this, goes in the lead of this Grand Prix. Verstappen's had a shocker as well. And the boys are still in Singapore by the looks of it. What on earth? Perez is now down to 4th. Verstappen is hanging on to dear life, staying the points there. He's dropped all the way back down to 10th. Worked his way up to 8th now, but Perez still off the podium. And that was literally possibly one of the worst starts we could have had, after I just built up how important it was to get a good start. But anyway, we have got the strategy in our favour. But we're going to go neutral. Hopefully that's okay, neutral. Maybe sometimes neutral can still heat up the tyres. Yeah, that will. So it's going to be a conserved kind of race, which is pretty good for tire wear. Tire wear. The percentage goes down obviously a lot slower on conserve. If you just conserve neutral. So it should be fine on that front with the 1 stop today. But yeah, 4th and 6th right now we're running. Less than ideal for sure, but still plenty of time to go in this race. There's going to be no rain whatsoever by the looks of it. This is a really weird Grand Prix. Sometimes you just get monsoon conditions, but here we go. Hamilton's pitted. He probably won't make it to the end of those softs, so I don't know why he doesn't get on the mediums more often, because he got light footed on the mediums, so why not get on the mediums, even if they're slower. They seemed, I mean, it's Hamilton, this guy's a Terminator, he'll make any tyre work, so I don't know why he's not getting on mediums. But we've inherited the race lead, and Verstappen's on the podium and putting a bit of track between him and Russell, which is awesome. And I just realised he's using a whole lot of fuel, and we're probably going to have to go on low engine mode. I completely forgot about that fuel, so it's been a long day. I've been at the Oz GP these last 2 days, and I'm pretty tired, but I still want to get these videos out. I got an early start tomorrow, so sorry if I sound a bit tired or I make any big mistakes in the game. If you want to, I might actually post some footage. I got some pretty good footage of the Oz GP. you know, a bit of fun. So I might put that in my race review. So make sure to check out my AusGP race review if you want to see some first-hand footage. It's a bit cheeky, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's pretty good. There's heaps of other cars as well, as I'm sure there is at other Grand Prix. I'd love to go to a Grand Prix overseas as well. But yeah, I love our little Australian GP. It's been so long. It's so good to have the cars back. And I've heard from multiple people that the Aston Martins just pop in real life, and they really do. They're probably the best looking car on grid in real life. They just in the sun, oh, it just shines so nicely. We saw it firsthand when Vettel retired in FP1, and we saw the crane lift his car onto the truck. So that was pretty cool. Not for Vettel, obviously. It's not ideal having your car retire, but yeah, you can see. I mean, I'm Rex, but I walk so much. That track is so large. But anyway, back to what we're doing here. We're on low engine mode with Verstappen. He should be able to recover that fuel, even though Russell is starting to close up on him. So we're probably going to tell him to go back in neutral. He's pretty much earned that fuel back, I think. We're going to look to pit them now. This race has flown by completely. I haven't changed pit crew, but that's fine. That should be okay. And hopefully, yeah, Hamilton's definitely going to have to pit again. So we're going to ride on board with Perez. We're going to actually try and undercut Hamilton, who usually undercuts us. But it doesn't really matter. There's 16 seconds between us. I would have loved it if Verstappen could get second, but honestly, third is good from where he was after lap 1. He was all the way down in 10th, so we won't complain too much. Hopefully he can finish ahead of Russell. That would be ideal here, and I don't want him on push. I want him on that. And I don't think he's going to recover enough fuel. We'll see what happens with the fuel. But we might have to go low for the final lap, which is less than ideal because we want him to race home in front of Russell. But Russell's actually overtaken Hamilton, but he hasn't stopped yet. So we'll probably get that position back from Russell. And Perez isn't recovering fuel as much as I'd like him to either. But he will get it done, I think, by the end of the race. And Verstappen's not going to get it done. So we're just going to chuck him back on low for a little bit. This is my fault for leaving the bloody overtake on. But anyway, Perez should still easily win this race. He's miles ahead of Hamilton. With 6 laps to go, this has been a pretty boring race. It's just been me talking over Russell on 2 times speed. But there's really not much action going on here. Sometimes we get really exciting races with all the rain and the overtakes. But sometimes we'll take a boring one because this is actually good for the championship. That being said, we are running out of races. So that Singapore loss of a win for Perez really hurts. I mean, what's that gap? For 16 points. It's possible. But we're going to really need to win every race from here on out. And Perez got a bit of fuel. We're not going to tell him to push. He's just going to chill. And he can stop saving fuel now. Verstappen. Hopefully he just pulls it out of the bag and just overtakes Hamilton randomly. Hamilton go back to the old days of running out of fuel. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's 15 seconds behind anyway. So he can pretty much lift and coast for the entire last start-finish straight. But Perez is going to get the job done. It's a very effective performance. Even after he had a bad start, he came back. The strategy prevailed today, which is fantastic. Final corner for Perez. Final lap. Cross that line. Play that Anthem, boy. Beautiful job. P1, P1. Thank you, guys. Couldn't do it without you. You're damn right, Perez. You're damn right. Now, what's going on here? Any sort of drag racing? Nah, not at all. But the constructors is pretty much sewn up. In fact, it's probably almost mathematically. But on the podium with Perez, it would have been better if Hamilton was on the bottom step. Closed more of a gap, but that's fine. We got, I think, 4 more races in the season. Hopefully, we can get another 1-2 with Perez on the top step. Of course, Hamilton had to get the fastest lap just to make sure that our gap isn't cut down by that much. But anyway, it's 6 points. It probably means that it's an 18-point gap now because I don't know if we had the fastest lap when we checked. Probably a 17 because I don't think we did. But a 17-point gap, again, closable, but these little fastest laps that we keep losing is hurting us over the long run. I know it is. It's going to be a very tight championship, but hey, it's good to get the first place and Verstappen on the podium as well. So good news is that the fastest lap was factored into the 16 points difference, so it's only 16 points. So with 4 races to go, it's every chance that we can win this. But thank you so much for watching this video. That will be all for today. Next up, we've got the Circuit of the Americas. We've got a bit of time to develop the car. 10 days, which is good. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, consider subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any thoughts, feedback, suggestions in the comment section below. I'll see you next time.